In this video, we are given some points that lie along our ellipse, also the foci. Our task is to obtain the equation of that ellipse in standard form. So find the equation of an ellipse with foci at 4, -2, 10, -2, and a vertex at 12, -2. Sketch the graph. So the first thing that we must do is we must decide what should be the form of our standard equation. And that has to do with the orientation of the principal axis. Is the principal axis vertical or horizontal? Well, what we can do is let us plot these points. Okay, so let us plot the foci for -2, 4, -2, 10, -2, and our vertex is 12 and -2. We know that the foci and the vertex lie in our major axis or principal axis. So that means our principal axis is horizontal. So right away, we can see the appropriate standard of equation for this ellipse. It's going to be x minus h squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared is equal to 1. We must produce this equation, and in particular, we must locate h, k, a, and b. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, C, or the center, is the midpoint of our foci, F1 and F2. We shall locate the coordinates of our center using our foci. What about A? If we already know C, okay, the center, A is the distance of one vertex from the center. How about B? Okay, so we need B here. We need B squared. How can we get B squared? Well, we can get B squared from this equation. So let us do it. Let us first locate the center of our ellipse. So the center is the midpoint of our two foci. So it is collinear with our foci and vertex. It will take on the same y coordinate, -2. Okay, so or the k, that's the k coordinate. So we must find the h. So the h is just 4 plus 12, 4 plus 12, no, 4 plus 10 divided by 2. Okay, so that is how you get the midpoint, 7. So that means our center has coordinates 7 and -2. Okay, so what next? Let us find the length of V1 to C. Okay, that will give us the value of A. A is equal to, so since this is a horizontal line, okay, we just need to look or to pay attention to the x coordinates. The x coordinates of V1 is 12. The x coordinate of our center is 7. We already obtained that earlier. So the length of A is the absolute value of 7 minus 12, or the absolute value of 12 minus 7. So that will give you 5. Look at that. We already have A squared. That's 25. We must now get B squared. But we need C to get to B squared. What is the value of C? From foci 1 to foci 2, the distance is 2 times C, okay, or 2C. So since these 2 points are located in the horizontal line, we will just pay attention to the x coordinates of this point. Okay, so 2C is equal to 10, or the absolute value of 10, minus 4. That's equal to 6. C is equal to 3. So from there, we can now get the value of B squared. B squared is equal to 16. So look at that. Look at that. We already have a value for that. That's 16. This one is 25. And this one is 7. This one is y minus -2. So that's going to be y plus 2. This is what we had obtained. 7, -2. Okay, this is the distance of our vertex from the center. It's 5. The distance of the endpoints of our minor axis from the center, it's 4. And this is the distance of our focus from the center. So with this information, This is our standard equation for your ellipse. Let us now go to the part on sketching the graph of our ellipse. Okay, center is 7, -2. Okay, x-axis 7, and then -1, -2. And then we are already given the foci. So we need the vertex. Okay, so V1 is already given. So look at that. That's 2 units from F2. So we count also 2 here. 1, 2. That will give us the other vertex. The distance of one endpoint of your minor axis from the center is 4. 4. Look at that. So you count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 downwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. So with those 4 points, we can now trace our ellipse.